What we know about anxiety is it doesn't carry on forever. It tends to go up in a curve and it peaks and then it drops off again. The problem is that because anxiety feels horrible, most people try to get out of the situation or avoid the situation in some way before it peaks and drops off. Therefore, you kind of don't learn not to be afraid. So if you have fear, say, of spiders, your fear is what we'd say paired with the spider, and that spider triggers it. When we talk about exposure, what we're helping people to do is to stay with the fear until it peaks and comes back down again, so that the link between fear and spiders is broken. What we want to do is help somebody to sit through their fear where it peaks and calms down, but that has to be manageable, and it tends to come in waves. So the first thing you do is make, we'd call it a hierarchy, but it's grading the difficulty. So if someone was afraid of a spider, you wouldn't start by getting them to hold a spider. You might show them a cartoon picture, and then a photograph, and then a small spider in a clear box, something like that, and gradually build it up. And it's very individual and different for different people. The most important thing is that it's agreed for that person, the order that you do it, and that they're in control of the process. In my experience of working with using graded exposure, one thing that comes to mind is a young girl who couldn't have her vaccinations at school because of her fear of needles. And with her, we also had to learn a technique, because you can sometimes faint when you have a fear of needles or blood and injury. So we learned the technique first by applying tension to stop her fainting, and then in that situation we worked through the same grading of difficulty, starting with a picture of a needle and then bringing syringes into the session. She'd practice touching them, taking the lids on and off, that sort of thing, and working up to the point where she was able to actually have injections with me there, and then being able to go off to school and have her vaccinations.